All right. Peace and love, everybody. This is Monica, and this evening I'm gonna start off with a little my econ information first, and then I'm gonna fold into some payroll information for those individuals who are hiring folks. So let me make sure I have my econ folks up and running. How y'all doing, Sean, Chris? Peace and love, ETM Hotel.
What's up, Mo? You all right?
All is well. How are you?
Doing pretty good, pretty good.
ETM Hotel.
Sean. Sean, I like how you be having your little energetic self going, and then all of a sudden it be like ETM Hotel, like laid back, chilling, whatever. All right. So what I'm gonna do, let me see. Let me start somewhere. I'm gonna start somewhere, and I may have to backtrack just a little bit because I'm waiting for somebody in particularly to jump on the YouTube so that I can know that they're there. So I don't want them to miss out on this session. Whatnot. All right. So I'll backtrack. I'll backtrack if I need to.
Mo,
Yes.
before you start, like a question.
Okay.
In your own definition, how would you define intelligence?
That's interesting. How would I define intelligence? Okay. So my own definition, I would say, so it would be knowledgeable, and know how to process information. Yes. Yes. Why you don't come on Thursday? You tired? Oh, it's fine. Let me give you my phone number.
Okay, so that's your working definition?
Yes.
Or would you say intelligence is the ability to take what you learn and apply it for your
Yes.
benefit?
Yes. How you process, comprehend, and apply process. Yes, I would agree with that. I can work with that.
Okay. The reason that I say that is because when we get to talking about financial empowerment or understanding how to create or run a business or budgets or just basically everything that you know that you may have mastermind. A lot of people have not learned, myself included, how to take that information, apply it, and watch it come into fruition. I guess because some people they want it right now. But nothing happens right now. You didn't learn how to walk right now. You didn't come out the womb, right? Walking.
Correct. And you know what? It's interesting that you say that because when I first started deciding that I wanted to take a he gone. He done fell off. Peace and love, African Emporium. How are you?
Uncle Johnson there, Power Prophet, Yuba Monica, Owa, Chris. You got everybody that's watching in attendance, sharing the love and being here to, support the sister. And I'm excited listening to the bill.
Phenomenal. I'm gonna Sean.
Peace, African Emporium, Sean.
Peace over. So everybody that's watching in the back chat, we're all family. We're all a part of this bill together. So again, we here to support one another and and let's benefit from this information.
Okay, absolutely. All right, goes on. Yeah, Sean. One of the things I noticed when I first decided that I was going to start training after Unc had drilled me a million times, I just started training like I was going 100 miles an hour. Now that I know, and I was like, man, why ain't nobody really grasping it? And I didn't think, I said, okay, maybe it's not because they're not grasping it. It's new information, maybe the process of, but what I've learned, and that's why I participate in everybody else's trainings or everybody else's live streams, is that when the information is foreign to you, something you don't practice every day, some people have a hard time relating business practices to everyday activities, so to speak. So for example, for me, because my mom was very structured, everything had to be done a certain way because she was looking for certain results. I kind of grew up that way. So when I started doing business, I would always time myself, be very observant to what was going on around. I started with that from basketball onto the military, onto being an auditor. And then I noticed how everything is just kind of like timed, or you have to put, or whatever you're getting ready to do, you have to, if you don't know it, then you have to study it. And then you can't just study it and just read it. You have to comprehend it so that you can actually teach someone else. And I think when I got to the point of starting, okay, I really want to start educating people. And I think someone said, if you can't teach it to an elementary child, then you're definitely not going to be able to teach it at all, because you have to be able to teach very practical to the understanding of someone in elementary could follow it and lead. And so I started going back and I started looking at the way the military is designed and how their training is, how the training is structured, and how at every rank structure, whether it's on the enlisted side and the officer side, there is a level of training. So it kind of goes from elementary to junior high or middle school to high school to PhD. And then depending on the position you hold, you may have some applied knowledge type training, and then you will have some command and control training, or you may have staff development training, or you have overall war structure training. So depending on what we were doing is what the training was. And I was like, man, okay, I'm going to have to break business training all the way back. And that's why I haven't released a book yet, because I realized that no matter how much information I put out, it's still not down to the lowest level. And so that's why I start with the checklist. I say, oh, you know what? I'm going to back this up. And I'm going to start with the checklist. And then based off the checklist, I'm going to have to break each of those entities down to so that someone can grasp it and then move to the next step. But the dilemma in what I would like for people to understand when going about organizing and managing business is conflicting with the person's ability to operate in that industry. So for example, we're talking about finance right now, personal financial success in business. So my kind of set up where it says, okay, I know that a business owner, in order for them to be successful, they have to have cash flow. In order to get cash flow, they're going to have to find out what type of cash flow they have right now and what cash flow can be released into making new cash flow. And for the normal average person that works, their money is tied up in taxes. So with that being said, we say, okay, well, in order to start this income shifting strategies, we're going to start with the W-4, right? So with the W-4, let me bring it up while y'all can see this screen on YouTube. If y'all have both screens pulled up. So I'm logging into my MyEcon account, right? So for someone who's never done business before, who's interested in getting into business, want to learn how to do business, be more successful, we start with the tool and you already working. Let's say you're working to come off, as y'all would say, get off the plantation, right? You're already working and you are looking for ways to actually start that process. So once you log in, of course, to this back office, we have an actual document system. And in that document system, we have a document called Quick Start Orientation. And so it actually starts, this last booklet was revised January 23rd, 2018. And the book is constantly updated depending on the compliance, state, local, and federal government, right? So we start with the actual W-4, and I'll just stroll through this right here, the actual W-4, right? I'm gonna go through the W-4 and I'm gonna show you exactly how this actually works to free up money to start cash flow before you even get to the whole let me launch this business. I think what many people do is they launch their business and they have not decided, they know they want to sell a product, but they haven't decided on how much of that product do they need to sell in order to gain a certain revenue, in order to pay for their expenses and have capital left over and be able to invest or gain more residual income. They haven't decided that. So what we've done is, well, I say what Mr. Ivy has done is, it's okay if a person cannot start a business because they don't have any money, let's find some money for them with something they're already doing. And so they use the income shifting strategies using the W-4. And basically with the W-4, it tells us right here in the purpose is that you complete a W-4 so that your employee can withhold the correct federal income tax from your paycheck. Consider completing the W-4 form each year when your personal or financial situation changes. Basically saying, okay, every year you need to reconsider your finances, look and see what has happened different in your household, personally or financially. So some people start off single, they get married. Some people that are married start off married, may have a dependent, or maybe you gain a family member to take care, a qualifying dependent, so to speak, or you single and you gain a dependent. Whatever it is, that significant change affects your W-4, which affects your allowances on the W-4, in turn affects your exemptions and taxes, right? As Brian Bean says, if you want to know if the government trying to give you something, find out what the tax deductions are and the tax credits. And we know that there are tax credits in dependents, child credits, and businesses, right? So let's go through a W-4 real quick. And let's see how this freeing up some money or some cash actually works. And we tell people all the time, listen, you don't have to inflate the allowances on your W-4. The W-4 gives you the opportunity to gain more exemptions by virtue of just filling them out correctly, right? All right, so let's do this. We're going to here, call on my phone. We're going to start here. We're going to say the person is, let's say, married with 3 dependents. That's going to be our scenario, right? So let's start off with A. It says, enter one for yourself if no one else can claim you as a dependent. 1. Enter one if you're single and have only one job, you're married, have only one job, and your spouse does not work. Your wages from your second job or your spouse wages are both total $1,500 or less. So we're gonna say we're married and have one job, and both are working. So we're gonna say 0, right? Because we're married and both people are working, right? So C, enter one for your spouse, period. At this point, you can enter one if you're married. However, they put the but in there and says you may choose to enter 0 if you're married and have either one working spouse or more than one job. You can do 0 or you can do 1. But since you are married and you have a spouse, let's go ahead and put 1. D, it says enter the number of dependents other than your spouse or yourself you will claim on your tax return, right? We said that we have 3 dependents. So boom, we're going to put 3. E, it says enter 1 if you will file head of household on your tax return, right? Now, let's go up to the rule. Now, I know a lot of married folks out there, they're like, I'm going to get my credit. I'm going to claim we gonna file separate. You don't really have to do that, y'all. And I'm going to show you why, right? You can get your money back regardless and max them out. But let's read the rule for head of household. Generally speaking, according to the rule, you can claim head of household filing status on your tax return only if you are unmarried and pay more than 50% of the cost of upkeep of your home for yourself and your dependents or qualifying individuals. See the publication 501. So we both married. So we're gonna file married joint. So we're gonna go ahead and put 0 right here. F says enter 1 if you have at least $2,000 of child or dependent care expense for which you plan to claim a credit, right? So we're gonna say 1 because yep, everybody spends more than 2 G's on their children. But quick side note is that if you have children, you can pay your child to do work for you and get up to $12,000 in tax credit for paying your child. But that's another conversation. G, the child tax credit. It says if your total income would be less than $70,000, $100,000 if married, enter 2 for each eligible child, right? Then less 1 if you have 2 or 4 eligible children. Well, we have 3 eligible children. So that will be 2 times 3 is 6 minus 1. And we put 5, right? Now it doesn't stop there. It says an H, it says add lines A through G and enter the total here. So let's add it up, right? So that's 5, 6, 9, 10, that's 11. So boom, you put 11. Now, just the top alone, you already exceeding the exemptions if you want to go ahead and drop down to line 5 and you getting your taxes back anyway. Now, the difference between stopping right here, being a W-2 employee and not owning a home-based business is the fact that you will get your deductions during the year. You will take advantage of the EIC, Earned Income Credit. However, you won't lower your taxable income. So in this case, depend on, you may get the earned income, but it's because that's going to kind of offset your taxes for you, but it's not really going to benefit you. In order to benefit, you got to own a home-based business. And so let's go further in the note. It says for accuracy, complete all worksheets that apply. Let's see the first note. It says if you plan to itemize or claim adjustments to income and want to reduce your withholdings, see deductions and adjustments worksheet 2, right? So we're married, we're not single, so we ain't gonna go to the second note. We're gonna go to worksheet 2, page 2. Most people don't even know there's a page 2 to the W-4. This top piece of this worksheet, most people try to itemize their deductions, meaning they want to take advantage of some of the tax deductions available so that they can actually lower their taxable income, right? All right. So what are some ways that you can itemize or come up with your itemization number, right? You can go to your 2016, well, if you haven't filed your taxes in 2017, you can go through your 2016 tax returns and look for the itemized deduction column and get that number, and you can place that number there because that will be an estimate, right? That will be actual, which you actually itemized last year, and give or take a little, you would itemize the same thing in the 2017 year. If you know, if you have not filed itemized deductions last year and you need to come up with that number, it tells you right here, it includes your home mortgage interest if you own a home, charitable contributions. This is for people who are paying anything to any charitable organization, state and local taxes, medical expenses excess of 10% of your income, and miscellaneous deductions. Now, all of that number has to come up with at least your itemized or your standard deduction amount, right? Now, I could tell you right now, possibly if you do not own a home, then that number will probably not be high enough, right? So then you would actually put 0, right? Then you go to number 2. It says if you're married, filing jointly, or qualified widow, you put $12,007. If you're head of household, $93.50, and single or married, filing separate, $63.50. So we're gonna go ahead and put the $12,700 here. Line 3 says subtract line 2 from line 1 if 0 or less. Well, you know, if you subtract 2 from that, you're gonna get a negative number. So boom, that's 0. Line 4, it says enter an estimate of your 2017 adjustments to income and any additional standard deductions. Now, right here, at this point, what I normally tell people is this. The rule is for every $4,050 worth of itemized deduction, give you 1 more allowance. If you know, and let me just go ahead and do the math for you right now so you can decide, you know what, is it possible for me to come up with at least $4,050 worth of itemized deductions? Well, I'm going to show you right here. Let's see. Let me take out an Excel, and we're going to go through some numbers, and we're going to do some math for you. All right. Now these are common deductions, because if you join my econ, these are common deductions. And we're just gonna assume this person just started his home-based business. So we're gonna do some common deductions that we already know that you have right now without even blinking your eyes that you're gonna get write-off. So now, because this is a home-based, internet-based business, we know you use your phone to do business all the time. So let's say your cell phone bill is $80 a month, right? So we're gonna do 80 times 12, right? That gives you $960. Let's say your internet bill, is $85 a month. Put some titles here so we can remember what these are. This would be dollars. All right, and this would just be quantity, right? And this would be annual expense amount. All right. Let's do this right here. And so right now I'm coming up with your itemized deductions. So this is like a mini profit and loss for you. So you can see how you can add up that number very easily to get to that $4,050. Stop there. Make these out of the dollars so you can follow me. All right. Okay, cool. All right, and then so we got internet. Let's say advertising. Let's say you got some business cards, website, Let's say that comes out, you spending about $50 a month on that, right? What else we could come up with? You also may have meals, let's say meals and entertainment. Now, meals and entertainment for the 2007 year, you may not, you won't be getting that tax deduction, but we're just gonna keep it here for now. And let's say per month, going out, doing dinner, lunch, business lunches. Let's say you do that. Let's say you do $100 a month. Mileage, business miles. Let's say you do like 5,000 miles per. Let's say you do per month. You're driving about 550 miles per month. Oh, this number gotta change because this is not in dollars. That's in quantity, just in a number. So that's how many miles you're doing per month. So it's gonna be this times this times, and we learned last week that the mileage is 0.545. Oh, there it is. That's how many, and that's just an estimate, right? And what else? What else we can get on here? So at a minimum, let's just look at these numbers right here. At a minimum, this is something that you could think about that you do right now without even, oh, yep, we can add something. Hold on. So if you are a member of My Econ, you have your membership fee. And that's $34.95 because that's a business write-off. So you take this $996 plus the $12.20 plus the $600 plus the $1,200 plus the $35.97 plus the $419. Boom! Look, you almost got 2 allowances from just this, and this is estimated. 9 out of 10, you're probably spending more than $100 a month on meals. You're probably driving more than 550 miles. And then the rest is, a little suspect or whatnot, right? That's just, can't forget. Let's not forget, because I don't care what software you're using, professional fees to file those taxes, you're gonna pay at least $100 a year. Let's definitely add that amount in there. What else? Anybody else can think of any other simple amount that you may be paying for business? Just something that somebody could identify like real quick off the top of your head that that you do in business every day. Supplies. Yep. Let me add supplies. Got to have pen and paper. Got to have paper to print. Right? Let's say, I don't know, maybe you spend about $75 a month in that. Right? So look, if we took 40, 50, if we took this number divided by 40, 50, that gave us, and this would be in numbers, that gave us 2 extra allowances. So let me go back to the W4. So that's just an example. Now, what I do, that's how you come up, that's itemized. I just itemize some business deductions that will actually work, that's going to work to lower your taxable income. Right? So now let's say you're the average person, you don't really know how to come up with all your numbers. So let's just go with 40, 50. You want to be safe. You know what? I'm just going to say I'm going to itemize $4,050 take an extra allowance on my W-4. Because I'm a little scared, right? I don't really know how this is gonna work out for me, so I'm just gonna go with $4,050, right? So number 5 says add line 3 and line 4 enter the total. So 3 and 4, that's gonna be 4050, right? Line 6 says enter the estimate of your 2017 non-wage income, right? As if you have dividends and interest. Now, some people may not be able to do that, but African Emporium probably be able to do it. Maybe a little bit of Sean. They doing that investing. Chris, you know, they making them dollars. They got a couple of dividends and investments out there, interest. But to be safe, go ahead and put 0 if you really don't want to get it involved like that. You want to play the safe haven, right? Line 7 says subtract line 6 and line 5, right? 4050. Line 8, divide line 7 by 4050. 4050 and 4050 is 1. Line 9 says enter the number from the personal allowance worksheet. Line H, let's go back up. Remember line H here? That's 11. So come back down, enter 11. And then line 10 says add line 8 and 9 and enter the total here. So that plus that is 12. Then it says we're not going to go to the 2 earners, so let's go here. Otherwise, stop here and enter the total on Form W-4, line 5, page 1. So let's go back up. Line 5, page 1. All right, at this point, you're supposed to separate here and give the W-4 to your employee. Keep the top part for your records. You fill out your data, administrative data, right? Right? Say that you're married. Boom. Now, at this point, everybody in the world already knows that if you put 12 here in line 5, you're going to pay the bare minimum taxes, right? That means you're only going to give the IRS what you owe to them. If you're married, in this scenario, they are married, both individuals cannot put 12 on their W-4. They can do 12 and 0, 11 and 1, 10 and 2, 9 and 3, 8 and 4, 7 and 5, 6 and 6, and so on. But they cannot both claim the same total amount of allowances that they both allowed. Common mistake. And that's why people who are married like to run and claim and marry separate, because they don't understand that when they filled out their W-4, both claim the high end. Now, at this point, this scenario, this person would get the max amount of their money back, and the IRS would only get due to them what's due to them. So a person may be wondering, okay, once I complete my W-4, how is this going to work for me at the end of the year? Will I? Oh, well, this is why you own a home-based business. Let me go back to the now. Based on our scenario, here, all of this money here, which is your business, which will be your business expenses, that these business expenses right here is what will go in on your Schedule C. And from your Schedule C, we know if this is what you put into your business and you didn't make more than this, then that means you've taken a loss, right? So let me go here. All right, so that's how to fill out the W-4. I'm gonna let me pull up a PowerPoint that I did on self-employment tax so you can understand why and how that works for you in reference to owning a business because you're self-employed. What was the date? Let me get this these slides, and I'm going to show you how this works because I did a high-speed PowerPoint on it the other day. Ooh, I hope I didn't. Any questions so far? Y'all got any questions in the chat? Any questions? Any questions so far on the W-4? So that's the first scenario in reference to owning the business. Now I'm gonna bring you into, because people say, I don't want to be an independent contractor because I don't know how to file my own taxes. Are you gonna show me how to file these taxes? And I'm going to, oh, I know I didn't. All right, y'all, gotta find, I just did this PowerPoint. Let me find it. Oh, there it is. That's horrible. Yes. Ooh, thank God for auto recovery. Let me say this right now. All right, I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you an example of, let's see. Let me save this. I don't lose it because I just almost lost that PowerPoint. All right. All right, let me make sure this is showing. All right, so we go past this. All right, so if you have, of course, if you're self-employed, you're a sole proprietor, you have a home-based business, you will be filing your taxes on the Form 1040 with the Schedule C. And the Schedule C itemized is what I just showed you. So let me go to the next slide. All right. So who can file self-employment taxes? Or that would be sole proprietors, independent contractors who get 1099s, partners in partnership, members in limited liability company, including single members. Right? So as I stated before, if you want to know how much you're going to pay in taxes, if you're a self-employed person or sole proprietor, you can look at your prior year return. So if it's 2000, then guess what? Your current year is going to be 2000. If you want to break that down and pay monthly, you divide 12 into 2000, and you will pay that $166 per month to keep from owing taxes at the end of the year. But let's use this example, right? So John Doe got a 1099 in the amount of $15,250, right? We got another 1099 for $30,115. The total income is $45,365, right? His total business expense is $19,120. So the business expense, what you do, if you subtract that from the income, so now the taxable income becomes $26,245. In this case, this person has a net profit, right? Let me go to the next slide. All right, so let's break something down. How do you know how much you're going to have to pay in taxes? So what you need to do is you take your net profit and you multiply times 92.35% times 15.3%. So the 92.35%, that's given on the actual self-employment tax form by the IRS. The 53.3% comes from what's on the bottom. The Social Security tax, you are liable for 100% of the Social Security tax, which is 12.4%. And the Medicaid tax, which is 12.9%. You're liable for that whole 100% of that, which is 15.3%, right? And that's how you get that number. So when you multiply it out, you get the $3,708.30. You divide that by 2 because you own a business and you're the employee. So you only liable for the business portion of it, not the employee. So that's why you divide it by 2. So you're only responsible for 50% of it. So that gives you the 1854.15. And so instead of paying taxes on $26,245, you're only gonna pay tax. You're gonna subtract this amount, this $1854.15 from this $26,245, and you're gonna get this amount. Now, if I show you the tax bracket, this $24,390 is drop the tax bracket. So instead of paying 25% of this in taxes, in that tax bracket, when you're figuring out your income taxes, you would drop down, I think, to 10%. You'd be taxed on 10% of it, right? Now that's if you have a net profit in your business. So if you earn money, there's a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to earn money in my business. I want to be upside down in my business because it's low as my taxable income. You're right. If you earn money, and most of them don't want to earn money because they don't know how to calculate their self-employment taxes. They don't understand that even if they earn money, you're not going to pay taxes on the whole amount. It's not going to increase your whole taxable income, because it may drop you in a whole new tax bracket. And I can tell you how to keep from paying that having a net profit as far as owning your own business. Now, if you have a net loss, if you spent more money than you earned in your business, then your net loss, it will be 0 times 0.9235 times 0.53 equals 0. So if you took a loss, then you have to pay 0 in taxes for the business piece of it. And that's why the business tax will not increase your taxable income. Instead, it actually decreases it. I hope I just didn't leave anybody behind. Okay, so this is why in MyEcon we got the cash flow manager. Because at this point, once we got you to get money back into your pockets so that you can start paying off debt, start investing, you have to be able to keep up with your income and expenses like I just showed you on the Excel spreadsheet. So I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show it to you on the actual cash flow manager. So once we teach you to maximize your taxes, minimize your taxes on the W-4 and get money back in your paycheck, then we teach you to minimize taxes via your record keeping, how to keep good records in your business. And so let me go there. I'm going to go to the BMC, which is your business management center in the back office. And I'm going to go to income shifting membership. And then I'm going to click on cash flow manager. And then in the cash flow manager, at this point, you see that I have several things. I have several things going on in my cash flow manager because I'm always keeping account or helping somebody do their taxes. So I'm going to go here to MoLam MyEcon cash flow manager. And this is the dashboard. This dashboard is the same dashboard that you get on your MyEcon app. And as you can see here, I have my recurring expenses already showing up for me to confirm and add. That means I don't have to re-enter it, right? So I'm going to I'm just going to do a date range. I'm going to go to 2017. All right, so I put in a date range and I got it categorized, right? So in the cash flow manager, this is where you're supposed to keep up with your income and expenses. So what we do is, let me show you what we do. Let me pull up the Schedule C, because at this point, you will be looking at the Schedule C, because now you have your money coming back in your paycheck. You have a home-based business. We've told you that every time you go out, you talk to someone, you're doing business, you calculate your miles, you eating, you keep copy that receipt, take a picture. You purchasing office supplies, you keeping track of that. You got your communication expense, which is a cell phone and your internet, and you're rocking and rolling. You're like, okay, now what do I do with this stuff? So we take out a Schedule C, which is what you're going to use to file your taxes. I always get the Schedule C from the IRS website because you never know if they made any changes, right? So here's the Schedule C. Remember earlier, I have the advertising expense. I have the office expense. Oh, some people may have an office space, so you may be able to include rent. I have the travel and the meals, the utilities, which is the communications, and the commission and fees. Now, so what we do with our cash flow manager is we set it up. We set all of these expenses up, these numbers, in our cash flow manager, just the way you see it here. And I'll show you. So when I go to my cash flow manager and I click on customize expense type, look at here. I'll have it automatically set up like the Schedule C. That means when I choose an expense, let me go back to the dashboard. Let me click enter expense. When I go into enter expense and I choose the type, guess what? It's automatically in my Schedule C. Now, based on, let me pull up my little scenario again. Oh, wait a minute. I don't want to screw up mine. Hold on. Let me do a new one. I'm gonna call this practice. I'm gonna click save. All right, so expense. So I'm gonna do a new one, right? Oh gosh. All right. So when I open up a new one, right? So if you're in the MyEcon for the first time and you open up your cash flow manager for the first time, this is what yours is gonna look like. You're not gonna have, they're not gonna be numbered according to the Schedule C. So what you have to do, you have to hit customize expense. See, there's nothing there. You're gonna hit create new. Now, when I type mine, it's gonna automatically be there because I've done this several times. So my numbers are gonna automatically be there. But what you need to do, all you have to do is print out this Schedule C, and these are the numbers you're gonna put in the cash flow manager, right? And so, like I said, I've already typed mine in, so it's gonna automatically populate for me. And I'm just gonna show you how I'll build a new one. And so this is what you should be doing to set yours up. And the reason you want to do this is because it's going to save you time at the end of the year. If you're tracking your business expenses as you go along, then guess what? Your profit and loss is going to be completed by the end of the year. And even if you get behind and you don't track it every month, guess what? You can always come back and play catch up because you already know what to do. The portion that really trips people up is that mileage. You know, if you don't track your mileage as you go, you're going to end up having to estimate it. An easy way for you to keep up with your mileage, you can use your MyEcon app and use your GPS tracker. You can do it that way. Or you can keep a mileage log. You can do it manually. Some people like to keep up with their mileage manually. Or you can take pictures. You can take pictures of places that you go to, and then you can write on it as you go along. But one way or the other, you have to start keeping up with your mileage. You are leaving a lot of money on the table. I'm telling you. You might want to consider how you go about business. If you're going to do business, you might as well take advantage of all of the opportunities that are given to you, and nothing is hidden. It's right there in plain sight. You know, a lot of people say, well, why do we have to why do you have to charge us for information that is already available? Well, guess what? That's because you're not taking the time to do it. And you see, right now, we've been on for 49 minutes, and I've only been able to show the W4 and now the Schedule C. we haven't even gotten into meat and potatoes of business yet. This is just the beginning. So it takes time. And anytime you take time from people's schedule, guess what? They're going to tax you. At the end of the day, it's only fair. So imagine doing this for 100 people. It takes time, right? So now that I got it all in there, now I can go back to expense. I'm going to bring up our little scenario that we had. I'll minimize it so we can see both screens here. So I have, let me minimize this one. All right. So now we can see both the Excel spreadsheet, the numbers from, oh, come on up here. I was trying to be funny. Let's see if I can move it. Oh, whatever. All right, we can see them. Oh, I ain't gonna do that. All right, so let's start with the first one. So the cell phone bill goes under utilities. That's number 25. And watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put reoccurring because I know a cell phone bill is reoccurring. 01/2018. Oh, let's start it at like October so you can see how the reoccurring does from last year, right? And let's say $80. And we can say who? Let's say Sprint or whoever your cell phone bill is. You can say what? Cell phone bill. You can say where, say I paid it online, or you can put the address to Sprint, however you want to do it, right? No notes. Now for a receipt in reference to your cell phone bill, your internet bill, your MyEcon membership, you can go, if you're paying it out your personal account, what we do is we have the Z Black card. So anything for business, we'll put the money on our Z Black card and we pay it for the Z Black card. So we can use the statements for the Z Black card. So at that point, we'll separate business from pleasure. But many people use their personal account. So what you can do is you can filter your personal account by your cell phone company. You can go in and put in your cell phone company, do a date range, and get all the months, right? Or every time you pay a bill, you can screenshot it and you can upload that receipt. However you want to do it is your choice. So, and you would choose a file and you would put the receipt right here. And I think I got a receipt. So let me show how that works. So you click choose a file. I'm going to search receipt. And I got a receipt somewhere. And I'm going to put open. Right. Oh, receipt. Oh, there we go. There's a receipt. All right. And no miles involved since I did it over the internet. And so I'm going to say I do that monthly. And remember, I started off with October. So the next time I put it in, it's going to be November. Right. And I'm going to hit save. Now, every month from November on, you're going to see it's going to do a reoccurring. Like when I first opened up my cash flow manager. See, let me show you. Here's the transaction. Let me just make it open. Here's the transaction that I just entered, right? There's the receipt. And it's automatically, because we're in 2018, February, it's automatically going to go. So let's say you join MyEcon in 2017. You haven't filed your taxes yet. You haven't completed your cash flow manager. Guess what? From the month you join MyEcon, you can go in and you can start putting in your information. At a minimum, you can put the information I just showed you, right? And so we're going to hit confirm right here. We're going to hit save. We're going to hit confirm because it's going to go all the way up until February. That's January. Confirm. And you pay it the same way every time. So all that information stays the same. Boom. There it is. There they go. That's all of the months that are involved, right? All right, so what's our next expense? Internet. So we're going to hit enter new expense. Enter new expense. We're gonna go back to utilities. 25. Gonna do the same thing with this one. Now your date's probably gonna be different. We're gonna put $85 in here. Let's say who? Let's say AT&T. Right? What? I'm gonna say internet. Where? Let's say online. Oh. Right? Same thing. If you have a receipt, you'll upload it here. You're gonna say reoccurring right there. Put the first month that you started to pay it. Click save entry, and then boom. Uh-oh, did I do reoccurring? Something I didn't do. Hold on. Oh, let's see. Let me bring this out to February. There it goes. Oh, because I put today's date. Oh, I didn't save it. Let me go back. You gotta watch that. Sometimes if you move it too fast, like I'm so used to it, you start moving too fast, you forget to click the save button. Let's re-put it back in. Right? Let's do who was AT&T, what internet bill, where it was an online payment. And you can put these notes however you want to. I'm gonna go here, monthly, and the next month will be there, and hit save. There it is. So boom, here, uh-oh, it did go. I didn't jump the gun. And I think the other one. Confirm. You see how the numbers are adding up? See how that amount on the bottom is adding up? You at 740 already, and we can keep going. So let's do another one. What else we have? So you have to do this through all of these transactions. And what will happen is that, let me hit save on this. Oh, let me cancel that one. What will happen is, if you hit profit and loss, by the time you finish putting everything in, you hit profit and loss, it does two things for you. It creates your Schedule C for you. So if I would continue to put all those expenses in, it would line them all up in numerical order, and it would tell you what your profit and loss is for the year. It also gives you the opportunity to look at your historical data over the years. So you can know when you're making money, when you're not making money, when is your up month, when is your down month. And it will also keep the number of years at the top. So you could go back. That was 2018. Here's the latter year, 2017. Right? Go back to the cash flow manager. Your mileage log. We didn't put anything in the mileage log, so we won't have any there. But your mileage log, that will give you a mileage log. Your tax preparer will actually be looking for that. Okay, I got a note. It says, if I live with my mom who is disabled, who's on disability, and she does not file taxes anymore, can I file HIDA? Yes, ma'am. Yes, you can. You can file HIDA household as long as no one else is using that address to file head of household. And you would be filing her as a qualified dependent, because you're paying more than half of the expenses for that for her at that location, right? Should be correct. So you see where I'm going with this? In Abukeline, I will send you there's a video. Let me show you. So let me go back to my back office. All right, so we freed up some money back in your paycheck. That's going to allow you to pay off debt and invest. Now, to offset that amount, you're going to use your business tax deductions, all of which I just showed you I just showed you at least, screw that up. Hold on. Let me spread this out a little bit. I should showed you at least 1, 2. Let me create a column so I can see how many this is. 1, 2. I should just showed you at least 8. I just gave you at least 8 business deductions that you could take advantage of. Now, can you take advantage of more? Yes. There's a whole Schedule C of them. All of these, if it fits into what you're doing, right? But I just showed you at least 8 right off the top of my head that you could take advantage of, right? And by taking advantage of these tax deductions, that's going to help offset those federal dollars that you was paying every year on your paycheck, right? Now, let's deal with, okay, how can I increase my business income? How can I get to this business income? Because I done gave you money back. So the first thing, once we give you money back, right, in your back office, go to your income shifting membership. You're going to go back to your cash flow manager. Before you get that money back in that next paycheck, because it's coming, right? You want to go here to the cash flow strategies. Let's do a new one. And it's going to look like this. It says your top 5 financial goals. At this point, you need to decide right here, what are your financial goals? Place 1 through 5 in the box, right? 1 being the most prioritizing 1 through 5. 1 being the highest priority on your list, right? So you have to decide, is it increase your income, reduce your taxes, buy a new house, make a major purchase on a car, furniture, or boat, pay off all debts, including mortgage, save for college education, build retirement assets, retirement freedom, goal, or other, right? So let's just decide. What do you think, Sean? What's your top 5? Or African Emporium or Chris, either one of you guys. What would be your top 5 in priority? What would be your first? Okay, they must be. Oh, investment. Okay, so that would probably be this build that retirement assets. 1. Yes. Okay, what's next?
All right, hold on a second.
Okay, so
I barely see.
Oh, I'm sorry. So you got.
No, you
Oh,
I'm looking on my cell phone.
Oh, my bad. So.
No, you will.
Increase my income, reduce my taxes, buy a new home, make a major purchase like a car or furniture, pay off debt, pay off all debts, including the mortgage, and save for college fund. 2, 3, 4, and 5.
So, and I'm putting them in order of importance, right?
Correct.
So definitely you want to always take care of your asset class value first. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
Because obviously being able to quantify that secures you to be able to do things like, having supplemental income to pay off colleges, et cetera, et cetera. So whatever is producing you income should be a scenario where you want to groom that in a way where it protects you. You know what I'm saying? Or keeps bringing revenue into your existence in a sense, through equity value in terms of home ownership, investments, whatever the case like that as well. So I would definitely, the things that has to do with investment. So I would say house, mortgage values, things like that.
Okay. So buy the house. So Bukia she got invest, buy the house, pay off debt. Go with that. We got some debt, pay off college fund.
Right.
And then the last one would probably be what? Well, we've already reduced the taxes.
Reduce taxes.
Probably should have reduced them taxes or increase my income. Probably should have said increase the income, build the retirement fund. Maybe.
Yeah. So and actually, that's a good way to look at it, because again, an income, generating income,
Correct.
then that those things obviously once again kind of cancels out debt consolidation, stuff like that, whatever the case like that, because now you got you're garnering enough income where you can pay those things off.
Correct.
But that just obviously from my little opinion value in it.
Correct. And that works. All right. So we build our top 5 financial goals right there. Now it gives you the opportunity to go down and say, okay, retirement freedom goal. So the first question is, what is the least amount of monthly income you desire at retirement? The least amount of monthly income. What we say? 10,000.
Is it okay? It's a monetary value too.
Correct. Let's say.
So is it asking for a minimum? Is it? Oh, you put that in yourself, or is it going off like what you have in terms of your?
No, I'm putting it in. We just coming up with a number.
Okay, I got you. I wasn't sure. Okay. Yeah. So we'll Mm-hmm.
So let's say 5,000. It'll be too hard on them, right? Okay, we gotta get them dollars up, y'all. Okay, so
Yeah.
what year at the latest do you plan to retire? What year?
Is that birth date or is just a aggregate date that you choose according to?
According to what you got desired, what you want to do.
Oh, I mean like the age I would like to retire at?
Correct.
So in most cases, especially, I'm speaking hypothetically here from an investor standpoint, guys, for those who are listening, paying attention, because I know once again, several investors, obviously in turn, they've got into the craft early, so obviously they were retired, before they got out of their 20s. Or they weren't necessarily even working, but the ideal of retirement came at a much more, user-friendly perspective, more or less, than just by using the market to benefit them. So we're seeing people like Antoine, Creel. He was an investment banker at age 19, got hooked up with Goldman Sachs, as a 19-year-old, 20-year-old. By 25, 20, literally 25, 26 years retired, and set for life. Now he actually owns his own hedge company. But so these are just the realistic ththings I want to kind of always premise to you guys as well. I know Sister Monica's building in terms of understanding how to itemize your money, how to take care of your money and budget properly. So these are realistic goals. You can retire literally, if you do it properly, do it proper, 5-10 years at most tops. If you even take that long, in most cases, you can be retired. And from your perspective, or how you value retirement, right? Or that number amount value.
So if you say 5 years, 2018, so 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So 2023.
Yes, we'll say. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it say, how much of your monthly retirement income do you expect to receive from your Social Security and company paid pensions? Not what you have in your 401k. How much so if you working where you can get a pension or Social Security, how much you want your monthly retirement income to be?
So is that for a percentage or a numerical value?
Numerical. Dollar amount.
Let's say.
So like for instance, I'm retired from the military, so I get a pension.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so within that amount, obviously from a fixed income perspective, let's just say for most cases, and we're just hypothetical here, we'll say at least from a monthly perspective, we'll say at least because I don't know how much they give you now these days in the rates. I hadn't checked the rates in a while.
It depends
so
on
we'll just say hypothetical. Say again.
It's gonna depend on how much you put into it.
Right. I was just gonna say too, and I was also going on the auspices that they be clipping up these rates. Seem like every president there's some kind of value or some kind of change or something to kind of reduce some levels of the Social Security or something. They always fighting for Social Security values. Obviously to reduce them in some kind of way, provide more money for governmental spending and planes and military, whatever the case.
So if,
so we'll just say, let's say. Go ahead.
You know, if we talking that Social Security right now, we ain't getting that because we ain't at the age unless you got a disability going on.
Right. So
So
you're gonna have to put in that time.
in the company, so in the company, okay, a booking line mine say 1,200. How much you say?
Say that part again, sis.
Your booking line says 1,200 a month.
Oh, it says
She said
1,200 or 1,200 a month.
1,200 average per person.
Oh, yeah, we can roll that because I was about to say earlier. I was like, at least 2,500. In
Yeah.
some cases, but like I said, but it's still dependent upon once again your your net value that you can put into the system.
Correct.
When they break it down.
Correct. So number 4 says, what is the approximate value of your investment portfolio now? So if you have a mutual fund, a 401k, IRA, company pension, Social Security, some people probably it's gonna be zero. So we ain't gonna insult nobody, right? Some people may have some money in their 401k. So there's a lot of people don't even have a 401k or IRA or mutual fund.
Right.
Let's say you got some money. Let's say you got about you've been working on the job for a while. Let's say you got about 15,000. And if you don't have none, you put zero in that block. Okay, y'all who are listening. How much money do you currently invest monthly in your long-term savings? Now,
So y'all know we've been speaking on this, so we can put away $5 a day.
is that
$5 a day translates to $35 a week. And that's just from a minimal perspective. And $35 a week turned to how much in a monthly perspective? That's like what, $20, somewhere around 130, $40, 140 bucks, excuse me.
140.
So you can put $140 into the market every month times 12 months out of the year. And this is just $5 a day. So
yep. So we're gonna put that 140 that you came up with, the $5 a day. We're going with the $5 a day, right? How much additional money monthly can you invest into long-term savings? Now keep in mind, we just did your W-4. If you was paying about $200 in taxes, you probably got back about $120. Come on now. We just gave you money back. We freed up money that you just let the government keep every month. So we helping you out here, right? So you should be able to give some extra money in here. How much additional monthly can you invest in a long-term savings right now? Let's say an additional 140. 140 is the $5 a day. I'm going to invest more. I just gave you an extra $100 and something back from your W-4 that you wouldn't be accounting for, right? So how much money do you have set aside for emergencies or need? You need at least 6 months of your living expenses. How much money do you have set aside now? So some people got money. Yeah, don't worry about it, African line. She said, I gotta do better. Don't worry. You and 3 million other people. Don't even worry about it. And this is why we're doing it now, so you could start from somewhere, right? So if you got some emergency fund, hopefully most people are spending about $2,500 to $3,000 a month in expenses easy. So let's say 25 times, it says 6 months work. That's 15,000 right there.
On the top, on the strength.
I know. We just giving all your money away, right? Do you feel you currently have a plan in place to accomplish your retirement goal in your desired time frame? So we're gonna say yes because we're putting our plan together right now. So we're gonna say yes. We in the class on Thursdays. We taking investment training. We just we income shifting using our W-4. We got our home-based business. So yes, we have a plan in place. Now let's talk about some debt. And we're just gonna make some stuff up, right? Let's just say we got a mortgage, and let's say our mortgage is $100,000, and our minimum payment, let's say $800, right? Let's say we got a credit card. Let's say we owe $3,000, and let's say our minimum balance is $110. Let's add a car note. This is kind of some basic stuff that people have. Let's say we owe $15,000, and let's say our note is $350. Let's say we have what else we might have that's major that people get. Let's just keep. Let's say hospital bill. What you gonna say?
And these are what, major monthly expenses, or is it just in general?
These are major ones. Yes, not
monthly expenses.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously you want to definitely do insurance. I don't know if that.
Oh, that's reoccurring. So we're gonna put that on the bottom.
Oh, reoccurring things. Okay, okay. Mm-hmm.
This is the big debts. This is the big tickets. Insurance is insurance. Oh, car insurance.
Yeah, car insurance.
Car insurance. Well, car insurance may be reoccurring too. This will be more.
Yeah.
These will be more of things that you have that you can get rid of. We're gonna have a market.
Phone.
That okay. So that's reoccurring. We can go here. Insurance. So we will go insurance. Is this life insurance or car insurance? For life.
So either one of those would be, well, both of them a necessity, especially if you need a vehicle to get back and forth to work. But life insurance is obviously definitely for your greater, your greater long haul, your long term. So I guess both of them probably will fall under reoccurring if if you balance properly.
Correct.
I would say, let's see, something a bill that, and this pretty much what to say, a bill that you can get rid of. Is that what it is? I'm trying to. I know I'm catching up a little bit.
Yeah, the ones at the top. So these right here that we just did, the debt elimination one. That's your mortgage, credit cards, car notes, hospital bills. Those are things that you have, and you're like, you know what? I got to pay this off because I need to free up my money.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, the ones
free
on
up money. So you're freeing up capital.
Correct. And then the ones on the bottom, the reoccurring monthly expenses is what you're doing every month, like utilities, your insurance, like you just said, the life insurance, the car insurance, what else? Or cell phone bill.
So I would say also student loans. I don't know if that falls in that category. That's something that you want to free up. Pay off your student loans if you have any.
Yeah, let's put that at the top. Hold on, let me add that student loan. Yeah, I forgot. Folks got student loans. So let's go up here, add that student loan. By the way, so they probably, oh Lord, student loans sometimes be hitting them in the head. Probably some people probably hold, let's say 60,000. And let's say they make it like a $200 pay. Well, I know the minimum some days is 300. Depending on who it is. So they just use this. So we just keep this as an example right here. So let's hit save and return to the list. So we're going to hit B now because we just did A. This is a summary. So we are assuming that we're going to take some extra money when we finish with this, and we're going to invest in 8%, an account that has at least 8% return on our investment, right? So we got our goals. We know our goals. We already went through that earlier. So let's just cut to the chase and go down. So business income coming in. We got cash flow of $100, right? Taxes withheld, $250. That's what was being withheld. So we're gonna take this amount. We're gonna show you how we got our minimized expenses with smart consumer purchase. Okay, so we got our available cash now, not committed to anything. That was that $140. That was our $5 a day. Then our recurring monthly expenses is $615, and it's still $615. So we're not gonna do nothing with that because that's stuff that happens every month. We can't give up no extra money nowhere because we need those things. So our projected cash flow is $140. That's that $5 a day that we say we can have. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our assumed cash flow created from business expense. So we're trying to bring in at least $100 from business expenses, and then the cash flow tax savings from the withholding allowance from your W-4. We're going to assume that we bring in at least $250 from the W-4. So you got $100, $350 plus this $140 that we're gonna save extra $5 a month from, that's gonna give us $490, right? Now that's our cash flow. We bringing in some money from business, at least $100. We save at least $250 coming from that W-4 by minimizing our taxes, and we said we could add an extra $5 a day to go towards our cash flow. So we got $490. That's what's going to help us to start reducing our debt. So what we're going to do is put it in order according to the least amount owed on a debt to the most, right? Or maybe the priority in which I put it in. I think I put it in that way. Okay, so we're gonna take that $490. We're gonna apply it to that $110 we was already paying on that credit card. Our new payment is $600. We're gonna pay that credit card off in 5 months. On the 6th month, that means we have $600 of cash flow now to play with. We're gonna add that to our car note, which was $350, which is now the new payment is gonna be $950. That's gonna allow us to pay our car off in 16 months. Now we freed up $950 in cash flow. We're gonna take that $950, add it to that hospital bill of $50. Now it's $1,000. We're gonna pay that off in 3 months. Now we got $1,000 of cash flow. We're gonna add that $1,000 to that mortgage, $800. Now we paying our mortgage $1,800, and we're gonna pay that off in 56 months. And now we have $1,800 to freed up. We're gonna add that to that student loan payment. Now it becomes $2,100. We'll pay our student loan off in 29 months. Now we have $2,100 left over in cash flow. We're gonna invest that in an 8% cash producing return on investment account, and we've eliminated $181,000 worth of debt in 109 months. We're gonna be debt free by 2027. We're gonna have a monthly our net monthly cash flow created by debt elimination is $1,610. Now cash flow, we're gonna have that $1,610. Our new cash flow monthly amount is $2,100 because we've already reduced all that cash flow. So we got $2,100 now. Now with that $2,100, we can apply that to invest in an 8% return on investment account, and boom, this is what it's gonna look like. This your world now, African Emporium. Boom.
Our pocket. Our pocket.
Let's get it. This is,
and these are the type of numbers that are done from a prerequisite budget for understanding if you're just kind of locked into the corporate sector and you're just kind of grinding your way through life, not necessarily aggressive at investing, right? Correct. But you do have some investment options out there. You may have a house with some equity value. Correct. But once again, these are stationary values of investment. Obviously, they're what they call long-term valued investments. Correct. As opposed to being able to once again, take some of your capital that you have and put it into a more of aggressive investment, right? From a more, a more fluid level of investing in the sense, so to speak. So you can find yourself once again at a percentage. And once again, when I was, speaking to you guys about my 3% rule value of investing, if you just learn how to procure 3% out of the market, from a daily perspective of investing, with an initial investment of $1,000, from about annual or from an annual perspective, that will yield you close around or right at around $25,000 in extra supplemental income a year.
Correct. So this amount right here, where we said when we said we were going to reduce our taxes right here on the W-4, when we went through the W-4 and we saved you some money, this amount right here, you could decide and say, okay, maybe I want to apply just an extra $100 towards these other debts, and I want to take $150 and start investing it in the market, following the mentorship with African Emporium. Boom, you winning either way it go. You have 2 plans in place. One, you're investing on a daily basis. The other one, you eliminate debt. Or
that's a great way to hedge your life. That's literally considerably a solid hedge in a sense, right? Your money is balanced out. You're not overexposed. You're taking care of bills and and things of that nature. Recurring money that's obviously being produced from a compounding interest perspective, and once again, you're also paying off any kind of potential applied debts that you may have because that free money that's being made and generated through your interest value and through your investments are taking care of what? Your bills. So the goal is, once again, not have to rob Peter to pay Paul, learn how to invest in the market so it can just take care of everybody, right? Because that's straight house money in that regard, right? And then obviously you can turn around and, hit it again on your taxes. After they hit you on tax, you turn around and get it back a little bit on the tax side of the house too, right? So yeah.
Correct. And so, and basically when you hit tab C, it's going to break it all down again and show you some things. And so the deal is, so back to Sean's question earlier, when we talk about, all right, so I just showed you, when people say, I don't have any money, I just showed you how to get money.
They can't never say they ain't got no money after we just saw that with Black Panther. Black Panther over $800 million in less than a week and 4 days, and black people screaming they ain't got no money. Shame on you, hypocrites. That's why I love it. That movie is exposing our people. We was able to conjure up near dang near $1 billion in about a week and 4 days, and black people run around saying they ain't got no money. Stop.
Yes, we just gave you some money. We just showed you how you say, well, I know I got the money back, but I got all these bills. We just showed you how to cash flow your money to eliminate those bills with a constructive plan. Now we got you some money. You're making your little investments. You're in Thursday night class. You learning a little something. You got your $5 a day. You doing a thing. All right, that's one portion. Now let's talk some business. Right? Now you've done all of that. So MyEcon is a personal financial success business, right? So it is an MLM, it's marketing. So if you want to use just the strategies, and that's why we always tell people we teach strategies. We teach you how income shifting strategies so that you can get money to invest. Now, there is no cash flow conference this year for MyEcon. Normally they have a cash flow conference in June. This year, what they want you to do is take that money that you would have spent to come down to Atlanta for the weekend, take that money. So for me, that was $600. Take that money that you was going to spend at that cash flow conference and invest it. And next year, come back with a testimony, because they have the conference in 2019. Because we just showed you how to make
this is an annual conference for you guys?
It was an annual conference in June.
So we get you guys started on that 3% rule. Once again, the goal, you can come up with 1,000. It don't have to be 1,000. It can be $100. So out of $1,000, if you learn how to do that 3% rule properly, right? Properly, out of 3 lot of trading days out the week. This is not every day. This is just 3 days out the week under the PDT rule. If you just go into the market, learn how to get 3% off that 1,000. The first 3% is 30. We already know that. You go into the next day with what? 1,030. Then you do 3% of what? 1,030. Then you do it for the next day for what? 1,000, whatever. And then you learn how to do that over time consistently. 3 days out of the week, out of the 252 days allotted, right? You will end up once again with close to like $24,000 to $25,000 extra in supplemental income. Who can use the extra $24,000, $25,000 supplemental income? Extra $25,000.
Wow.
Just by pushing buttons.
Wow. Yes, that's where we headed. So we got this investment piece. Now we can say, you know what? Now you could start right here. We gave you some money. We help you come up with a plan to eliminate your debt, and we got you on a track or an opportunity of learning investments where you can start investing right now under some mentorship and some training. You're winning already, right? So now if you say, you know what, I still need just a little bit more. I want to make, okay, now I want to tap into, okay, you knocked out 2 of your pillows. That's minimize your taxes, eliminate debt. So what about the business income? Well, how do I get some residual income? Well, residual income also comes with investment. So that's one, right? Investing in cash producing assets, stocks, bonds, real estate, mutual funds, those kind of things, right? And so now let's talk some business income. So now there's several business incomes out there. I mean, Buchanan, she sells whipped shea butter. Oh my God, it's phenomenal. Woo, that stuff is good. Right? So that's one, you getting some business income, right? one of my next classes, we're gonna talk about how to account for your inventory, knowing how much you need to sell, a certain amount of dollars, and where you need to be putting those dollars at in order to win. So I'm gonna go to. I just want to show one more thing out of this my econ, because now we'll talk about some business income. So we're getting into Sean's question area. All right, so we had to free up some money, because a lot of time people don't want to start business because they don't think they have any money to start. We just gave you some. Boom. What? I need some sound effects. We just gave you some money. So now you can't say you don't have any money, right? Now you got to start shifting your mindset, right? Send me the info. I need some. Oh, Abukeline, post your information in the chat to Sean, or I can connect you guys on Facebook, right? So now, if you join the membership, now for people who don't own any businesses at all, don't have a sole proprietor, you already have a hustle, and you join this membership. You know, some people already have a hustle, right? And that's cool. I joined my econ because of these tools that it have, especially this cash flow manager. I need that in my life, because I was doing QuickBooks, trying to teach people QuickBooks, and they just wasn't getting it. So now I could teach them the cash flow manager, and they like, oh, thank you, this is so much better, right? So I'm gonna go to the compensation document now. So if you join and you say, you know what, okay, Mo, I got this down. Yes, her Facebook name is the same. I want to do more than just I want to make some money from what you guys are talking about, right? So let's see what we got here. They done a PowerPoint. Go ahead. It's your birthday. We done moved up 2018. Look at that. They done revised everything. We got a training for everything. Let's see what this PowerPoint talk about. So let's show you how you make money in the system. Now, a lot of people use 3 is the key, right? Bring 3 people in. The first 2 people goes to the person who sponsored you. The third person is really where you start making your money. So let's talk about it real quick. All right, here's you, right? You're a marketing director. 15% on personal CVs. That's when you're buying things, commission value items, and I'll show you those in a minute. $10 on personal sponsored marketing directors. So, right, let's say you bring your first 2. This is you. This is your marketing director. They bring in 2 people. You get $10 from them, right? So the 2 personal MDs are $200 of personal CVs with promotion to EVP. So the first 2 people you bring in, you get promoted to what they call executive vice president of my econ, right? Then, so for everybody you bring in, you get 25%. And for anybody in your base shop, this is people that's coming from people that you brought in, you get 10%, right? So for the first 2 people you bring in, you get $35, right? $35. So they pay $34.95 to get in. You make $35. So what I do sometimes is that if I know somebody's serious and they really want to start a home-based business, I will give them a $25 coupon. Because why? I'm gonna get $35 back.
Right, invest back into your investment.
Exactly, right? They will pay $9.95, and so really, so they tried out for the first 30 days. They only paid $9.95. I've earned my money back, right? Won't hurt nothing. Now, so I get 100% back in. Now, once I bring in the third person, this is where, now these first 2 people is really going to go to the person who sponsored me. They're going to get the 35. I'm going to get 10, right? Of that nature. Now, the third person I bring in, I'll get the $35, right? Now, though that person bringing 2 people, I get $25. They get 10. Those 2 people bringing 2 people. See, so every time these people that come under me bringing people, I get $25, $25, right? So basically, by the time you bring in 2, 4, 6, 8, well, this is 6, 2, 2, 4, 6. What by the time they bring in 6 people into their base shop, whatnot, that's $150 into my base shop. Plus the $35 on them. That's $185. So the rule is every time you bring in somebody, you get $35 if you personally bring them in. If that person bring them in, then of course you get $25. After their first 2, then you get 10 per person. For every 10, you start to earn residual income. And this is pretty much how it kind of works. So to get EVP is only 2 people. To get gold, it's 10. For platinum, it's 100. Infinity, I think it is 500. Right? And every time when you start getting DTR, it's $8 to $15, so to speak. And so that's the first generation. So you're building base shops, you're building generations. Once your third person gets someone in, that begins your your first generation, and then they bring in 6 people, and they building based off the number 6. Some people build off the number 10. So you hear Garfield say right now, 10 people get 10 people, 10 people get 10 people. He's building off of 10. This chart is building off of 6. When that third person, first person gets 1 person, that builds your second generation. This takes time. I don't want to get too far into this or whatnot, because it kind of takes time to learn it. So basically, every time you bring somebody in, if you personally bring them in, you get $35. If that person brings someone in, you get 10. Once you get 10 people on your team, you start to get $8 per person that comes in every month. That's how you build business income. And it goes on and on and on. And I'd have to take a lot of time on this one to kind of show this along the way. So we won't get into that because that's going to take too much time. And if you're new, I'm just going to go right over your head. Bottom line is that anytime you get into any business that's multi-level marketing, for every person you bring in, you make money from that person. The other thing is that if you sell some of the products, none of this stuff is mandatory, but if you want to gain income from doing your business, you could sell people your products. And these are some of the products that my econ offer that you can actually sell. Let me blow it up. And so you got you have the identity theft that we talk a lot about. If people buy, let's say they don't want to join my econ, but they want to purchase one of the plans, these are the amounts for the plans. This is how much money you get for them purchasing those products. And you can go down the list and look at the different products that if people purchase it, this is how much commission value it is for you, all the way down. Same thing if they shop from your cashback mall. But Garfield talks about this every morning. So every business owner, even if you don't join my econ, if you don't have an accounting system, you need this cash flow manager. $10.95 a month. It will save you a lot of time. I did some taxes yesterday, and I just did those bare minimum expenses, and it saved them. They added an extra $600. It lowered their taxable income, and it added an extra $600 to their return, which means they overpaid taxes. So that's some of the business income. And that's all I really want to cover on this, because it could get a little bit overwhelming when you get too far into it. You gotta kind of build on it. But anyway, if you look at it in your back office, all you have to do is go to the documents, and there's a policy and a training for everything. This document here, this common tax deduction package, is a must. We are building, these haven't changed yet, but they will. They're waiting for the government to federal to finalize their budget so that they can put out that reform, tax reform, so they can revise these documents. But this stuff is a must. Like, you should print this common tax deduction packet, and you need to keep it in your in your forefront, because this common tax deduction tax is going to go all of the stuff that I just named earlier, and it's going to give you the IRS regulation on it. So you need to educate yourself. so that when you hear it again, when you come down to the cash flow conference, let me bring that up. When you come down to the cash flow conference in April, you need to have, if you have an understanding and you've been in your back office, when Brian Bean start talking about the rule of 72, you'll kind of understand what he's talking about, and you'll be able to follow and track, because he's gonna talk about investing a lot from using these tax strategies, right? Also, when Garfield's talking about credit repair and getting your credit right, and you want to know, you know, once you start getting it back online, how you're going to sustain and maintain from getting your debt out of order again, you're going to need these tax strategies. You're going to need this cash flow strategies, right? Sherry's going to talk about the cash flow strategies, how she was able to get her car. Sherry is going to talk about the W-4, and I'm going to talk about the cash flow manager, give you some ideas and tips on how to document your receipts, where you should be saving your money at, what is going to be proof of business expenses. And then Mr. Herring, which is a retired IRS auditor, bring your questions, bring your tax questions, whatever tax questions you have for owning a home-based business or filing taxes. You need to have it at this forum. You will have the subject matter experts on the scene, like African Emporium. I mean, we're giving away with the information that we talk about on a daily basis, Sean, is enough for you to listen to and get yourself out of your situation, or to sustain or start the business. So when you ask the question, you know, what is intelligence, and would you say that some people just aren't intelligent enough to grasp to actually get their business working and moving? I would say that some people just aren't patient enough to sit down and work with someone to understand business and operate and manage the business. I think some people just think that, you, like, for case in point, I had a young lady come in here for the call center, and I told, you know, I said, I was like, okay, listen to the video, because you didn't listen to when I sent it to you. Okay, listen to the video. It's going to tell you everything you need to know. She did not, she let the video play. She did not pay attention to the video. And then when the video was done, she asked me the same questions that was in the video. So I immediately said, I said, did you listen? You could not have listened to the video. And she said, yeah, I kind of cut the first and the middle and the last or something of that nature. So then she says, how long is the training? I'm like, okay, she did not listen to the video. So then when I told her, it's like, okay, so in order for you to get to the flex schedule, you have to train. Without the training, you can't flex your schedule. And she said, well, then do you just have a data entry job? I'm like, no, ma'am. And even if I gave you a data entry job, guess what? You still had to sit and train. How do we expect, how did they expect, even with investments with African Emporium, how do you expect to go in and market and do something and be effective with it, efficient and effective, if you don't sit and train? You cannot come to me and say, okay, I need to come and see you, Mo. Can you train me on something? You only have 30 minutes to an hour. You playing with your phone every 5 minutes, checking it. You're not learning. You're not paying attention to nothing I'm saying. And then you ready to go. And then you say, well, I didn't learn anything. It's like,
you know, that's that whole mentality where people are actually looking to fail as opposed to looking to succeed. So they don't take it serious enough to kind of put in the prerequisite time, due diligence, and necessary, value to make sure that they come out on top. Because if it can't pay them right away, right, they looking for nickels and dimes as opposed to dollars, right? So as I always say, you know, you trinket chasing as opposed to treasure chasing. Absolutely. Right? If you trinket chasing, then you always look for the quick fix and you know, just kind of stuck in at the minimal perspective, you know, crumb snatching in a sense. But when you're treasure chasing, your duties, the necessary due diligence, and it's very easy too, because the same way you put enough attention to detail to research your favorite car, obviously when you bought your home, for some of you guys that are homeowners as well, you know, the amount of work, you know, you had to put in to kind of get the information to be privy to the prowess to not make a bad decision. Well, when you think about, you know, obviously, you know, getting able to build some supplemental income or finding ways to kind of get some extra supplemental income coming in, well, it's the same value, right? It's all about, once again, who you surround yourself with too as well. I spoke about that earlier today, permanent interest, right? Having a good network, right? That'll bring you some good net worth, right? So your network has to be strong enough to bring in some net worth. If your network isn't that strong, it's not producing like that, then you need to change up your circle, right? Because you don't have time to waste your time, basically, at the end of the day, right? So every moment you have available to use it to your benefit to get some information, get some knowledge that's going to help bring in, increase your bottom line. Then for me, I think it's just a no brainer. At this stage in the game, I'm saying at this stage in the game, for some of us that know exactly, where we are and what we need to be kind of doing on a daily to change our scenario, our status quo. So, again, we got some opportunities afforded to us and that's available, but we have to take advantage of them. We have to be, it's like, I heard Dr. Boy say this one time. He said, it's time for the grown folks to come to the table.
Woo!
Right? And that's where we are. We've played around long enough. We made excuses long enough. We kind of did the woe with me thing. We kind of took the defeatist mentality long enough. We've done all that and then some. Now that stuff is like you can't get away with that anymore, right? You didn't cry wolf on that too long. All right, now it's time to put some some muscle behind it, some mental muscle at that, and make these things happen. And so every time someone devises a plan, a layout, a scenario which will help you learn how to find ways to get some extra supplemental income. Obviously, I use a very standard theory. If you can leave out your home and spend $5 a day on some trash foods and chips and, a bad, burrito from Taco Bell, whatever the case, then you got money. You got generational wealth building power already. You just don't know it.
Correct.
Right. So $5 a day turns into what? That's $1,800 some odd dollars at the end of the year. That's some people's little holiday. They even want to partake in that just by doing some disciplined saving. So the goal is to be disciplined in saving and procuring capital, putting something away. Don't live outside your means. Don't take on unnecessary bills that necessarily is not worth the value of you having liquid capital around to really put it to work, because your money is not going to work for you. You are actually working hard for it. I don't want to be in that box anymore. Why work hard for it when it needs to work hard for you? Like, I need to be sleeping. It need to be out there working. It need to be running laps, making, coming around at home with some friends with it, So that's my mentality. And that's how, you guys' mentality need to be the same way. I'm pretty sure some of you guys are invested at some level, albeit whatever, TSP, 401ks, Roth, mutual funds, ETFs, home equity value, drop shipping, whatever extra stuff you're doing on that level, whatever you're doing, make sure you put yourself in a position where, once again, you can have enough supplemental streams of income, enough streams of income coming in to the point that it can overrun you, and the point it can pretty much overtake you at some point, become primary value, right? It becomes a regimen at that point. You used to, doing it, you know how to do it. This is like waking up and riding a bicycle. You do your little checks and balances in the morning, and you just go on about your day. Money's being made. Make a few phone calls here, do a little recruiting here and there. Always, be in recruit mode, always in whatever you're doing. And then, it just becomes a part of your life. You wake up, just, hey, let me bring somebody some opportunity today. As you guys always hear me say, that's the only thing I'm pushing is opportunity. I don't own the stock market. I don't own none of these little things. I'm just giving you the opportunity to take advantage of what you've been needing to do anyway, helping you push you through the right, channels and avenues to do it. So,
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, to me, it's like, okay, they need to know that the benefits coming from the federal, that stuff is, let me tell you, if they don't think that EBT is about to get cut, they got another thing coming. We have people who are prepared.
That's why I don't mean to cut you right there, but that's why I was speaking on that about the market today. Right, because with this new Fed chair that's coming in, now we already know that Trump then came out and made it very public. For some of you guys that may be late to current events, that's why I pay attention to these global current events from coming out of Washington from a global perspective, because it matters. They're talking about what? Going back to the old school way.
Yes.
Of cutting your benefits, cutting that check value in terms of your little TANF or whatever you get in welfare, and they gonna show up at your house with a box of dried milk, powdered eggs, powdered this, pork, government cheese all over again, and remove the buying power in terms of your stamps away from you from going to the grocery store to get fresh food for you and your baby. Let that marinate. If you finna sit here and convince me that you don't need to be about your business going forward in 2018, then you just like probably being, in poverty or impoverished or borderline in poverty.
Yes, honey, we got friends right now is preparing to see. They are strategizing right now on their forums to be able to be a part of that movement because they know them boxes is coming. And right, for people not to take a moment to stop and say, okay, what do I need to be doing for my business today? Or, how is this going to work years from now? Like I would, if we were all in the same location, I would sit in a classroom setting for an hour or two a day in everybody's session, just make sure that my plans stay on point. That's how important it is to the future. Because, and I'm like, okay, you could get I'm not concerned about views or class participation, but what I am concerned about is people actually getting in some type of group setting or with other peers and group think and come up with ways that you could change your actual financial position. And you're not going to get it by getting in a 1 week, 2 week, 3 week session. You're going to have to get amongst them. I mean, look at the rapport we've all gained. We know each other, Adam from Eve. Support each other.
Facts.
Make sure that okay, he's teaching something I don't know. I need to be in his class. He's teaching something I need to be in his class, and he's teaching something. And it doesn't matter what it is or how it works for you, how it empowers you to get where you are. That you stick together. We've added a couple people to Cheryl and I have added some people to this contracting and grants movement. Oh my God, you talk about they kicking the door. Let me tell you, they left me behind.
Let me tell you,
it's so bad. They be like, don't worry about it, Mo. We'll let you know when we need you.
We got it. You just show up as the face.
Yes, I'm talking. They be in 310. I don't know contracts a day. I mean, they putting in that work. You hear me? You talking about making power moves in the community? They are making power moves in the community. Look at me. I'm just sitting. So I say, call me if y'all need me, because right now, I'm dedicated to training. I'll come out there and train the people. Call me for the training. Y'all go out there and do all that writing. And so I'm like, okay, just off the people that we know. And we're making those kind of moves or whatnot. Just think, if you got 100 people on a team effectively going in, you could move around to communities. It takes work. You can move around and you can make some impacts into communities. But what I'm afraid of, because I made the attempt with the call center, is that you get in the trenches and the bugaboos in the trenches. Well, don't let me call them no bugaboos, Lord. The people in the trenches, they're not really interested. They interested, but they're not, because they own them assistants and they don't want to give them up. They don't want to give it up. And so I'm like, well, why don't you just sit around and just learn it until, you actually need it? Like, put this in your toolbox so that you can have for a later date. That's too much time out their schedule, honey.
You cutting into Days of Our Lives, you're cutting into Maury Povich, you're cutting into Housewives or Hood Rats, and y'all know where I'm going with this. Right? Priorities are not in place, so therefore your pockets are not in place. Let me say that again. Right? Priorities not in place, therefore your pockets are not in place. So that's why you stay at the bare minimum. Right? And we've been conditioned to just accept the bare minimum, because for us, we don't have to try any harder than the value of what we can kind of walk away and get a little, just a little bit to kind of get us ahead. Absolutely. So again, when it's time to kind of kick the bucket, what are you passing on to the next generation?
Talk about
it. Howie, piece of money left behind, your daddy's favorite little Nikes and Jordans and nothing. Depreciated goods, basically.
Absolutely. Sean, I know you got something to say. Sean messing around. He probably doing something. Okay. So yeah, I just want to make sure that just from that piece of information there, that we actually, those individuals who getting aboard and that are learning where do I start? How do I free up some cash flow so that I can actually be effective? So we're in the month of what? We're about to be in March. In the 2 days, we're going to be in March. The first 2 months of the year is already gone. So you've already, what did you say? $5 a day? It's $35. $35
a week, $35 a week times 52 weeks out of the year. $140 a month, 140 times 12.
Correct.
Right? Y'all do the math on that, and then just imagine, making a one-time investment of that, or paying off a bill at the end of the year. Once again, you just learn how to pay yourself through your spare change, in a sense, right? And then once again, if you have a spouse and you guys do it together, then you multiply that times 2.
Correct. So you should have $280. If you haven't put it away to invest, then you should have that right there to invest, because it should have $140 for the month of January and $140 for the month of February. So let's get started, and let's get started now. And I think if we challenge ourselves, because we're our own competitors, if we challenge ourselves to put that money away from here on out, let's make a difference. Let's have these testimonies or whatnot. Heck, let's go to the Sonetta TV Awards and say, from the month of January to July, here's my testimony of what we've been talking about on the Urban Economic Empowerment Show. Here is the facts.
Here's my shoebox. Here's my Nike shoebox. Here's my Stiletto shoebox, and it's loaded in $5 a day. I'm gonna see. It's just as simple as that. When me and my Eva do it, we put that money in the shoebox, and it was sitting right on top of our little TV in the kitchen, in the little dining room area. So every day you walk past, you see it, right? And before you know it, 6 months in, you go to the little shoebox, and it's fluffy in there. You have to, you're like, oh, it's some. Where did money come from? Set it and forget it. Discipline saving. It teaches you how to be, obviously respectful to your money, so you're not wasting it, right? The same way we get, up in arms when we see people, make a little money and they go throw it on the floor and all this so-called stupid stuff, making it rain, and go throw it away in these whatever strip clubs or whatnot. People just throwing away money, throwing away. Pretty much anytime you do stuff like that, or you buy stuff that you don't need to impress people that don't need to be impressed, right? You just basically throwing your money away. You throwing away your tools, basically what I'm saying. You throwing away your power tools.
Correct.
You can't show up to work the next day equipped to go out there and build your life the way you need to, because you can give all your tools.
Correct.
Now you need a screwdriver, flatheads, Phillips, wrenches. You show up with a butter knife, think you finna get it done. Not finna happen. So it's important. I mean, you're on point, Mo, as always. But this is vital information. Because I know we're having fun, but. So what better people to get this kind of level of information from than people that have your best interest in mind? As I spoke earlier today about that, that's vital, because no one's coming to your hood or your neighborhood to teach you this. I guarantee it. And if they are, they're gonna charge you exorbitant amounts of money.
Correct. So yes. So thank you, brothers. Appreciate your presence, and everyone else out there. Thank you for taking time to watch. If you're a new member of My Econ, getting your back office, the first thing you need to do, if you're a W-2 employee, you correct your W-4. When you free up that money, remember, debt elimination and investment. We just gave you the plan, $5 a day, $35 a week, $18.20 a year. That's your investment. So if you don't want to put everything into debt, you could take those amounts and you can join our Thursday evening class at 8:30. It's $30 a month with the 3-month commitment. That's $90 for you to start learning and understanding the terminologies of investments and getting mentorship on how to invest that money. And let's get some testimonies. Let's change your economic situation, change your mindset by sticking and staying amongst people who are doing it. Change your circle of friends. We know you want to turn up sometimes, but sometimes you're gonna have to take some time. You're gonna have to shift that understanding of social lifestyle and start staying amongst those people who are doing it. Not to mention, you are able to do this from the comfort of your own home. Tuesday evenings with myself, giving some basic budget understanding. Wednesdays, Urban Economic Empowerment Show. Right now, we're a little man down. Garfield have some family medical things going on, so let's keep him strength and lifted up. him and the daughter. And absolutely. And then on Thursdays at 8:30 with African Emporium in the introductory to investments training. And then and then we started all over for the week. So you got another 4 days, to sit back and ponder. It gives a wealth of information. We can put you guys in the back chats. He's doing a midday session now. You can sit in and you can listen to. And so all of this information is available to you. We try to put it in a PowerPoint so that you can actually understand it. So you can take some time, come back, look at the videos. So again, high five, lady. Peace and love. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, African Emporium. And I see you guys on Thursday evening.
Sounds great. We'll see you guys then. Shemotep family, power and profit to everyone.
Oh, Sean, now you want to come back. He was looking for your voice.
Nah, I was listening. I was listening to y'all go in. Wasn't nothing for me to say. Shoot, y'all was hitting it.
All right. Well, peace and love, you guys. Y'all have a good night.
All right, guys. Good night, guys. Good night, family.